Hear that? Yep, you hear that?
Turnstile, switch it up. Young nigga raised hard and learned not to give a fuck. Young nigga came far, still never give enough. Coming with the flavor, delicious, so she lick it up. Bust down, stick it up, I put it down, so pick it up. Scud town, saviors, done some till he shift to musk. Stench so stank that the shit compares soft to us. Crud so dank, make your face smudge dripping, cuz club go shake when the bass gets to hitting ya. They ain't really hearing us, but they gon' feel something when the way is paved clear enough. I don't fear nothing but the fate is God real or not. Well, fuck it, got the world in my hands and that's real enough. Fuck it, got the world in my hands, gold forms to touch. Might just spend it all one time to give it all to us. Yeah, give it all to us.
Yeah, this that hip-hop body rock, hardcore karate chop, neo-Nazi nasty, not feel it in my chest. How could you wear that name? Must be automatic shame, using automatic lame, heard it from the best. Fresh flow, let's go, plus I got a lot of heart. It's necessary when you dabble in this art. Grab canvas, paint picture, use them acrylics, paint a picture so vivid the people gotta feel it like the Kaaba. Lyrics bear fruit like guava, words spilling out of my brain like lava. Spills out the top of a volcano, and they know that A-Right is not the one to play. No, I'm Kano in Mortal Kombat, cause the lyrics like blades. Aim it at your juggler when I'm on stage, until you heard me spit, homie, you ain't heard rage. On another chapter, so turn a turn. Okay, got that out my system. A-Right on another planet, dog, you must have missed them. When I do it how I do it's of my own volition. Go make my destination even in the worst condition. I cruise the Blues Brothers, cause you know we on a mission. Eternity of roses I make bumping in your system. I mean banging it and I'm still hanging it. And I got a gang of wisdom, I got a gang of rhythms, I got a lot of soul. I found the pot of gold, I'm wrapping that shit up, gon' sell it to the globe. I got some game to give them, they don't really want, but they really need it. And I want you to succeed, I want you to be free, I want you to remove every obstacle from being what you truly wanna be. I truly wanna see, and I can only lead by example. So here's a sample from me, so get up.
He's the one drinking beer. I'm drinking water. 2 touchdowns a game?
Yes, in the game.
You're tripping.
How you high? No,
Greatest fucking Super Bowl time.
I don't know what we're doing in the front office, man. Twiddling our fucking dick.
Ryan, I just need you to drink this.
Wide receiver trivia. That's what she said.
Her upset.
the one drinking beer. I'm drinking water. 2 touchdowns a game?
Yes, in the game. You're tripping. How you high? No,
Greatest wide receiver of all time.
I don't know what we're doing in the front office, man. Twiddling our fucking dick.
Brian, I just need you to drink this.
Wide receiver trivia. That's what she said. What the fuck?
Upset.
Are those crutches?
You can see Ryan's crutches. What is going on, folks? Welcome back to After Further Review. This is episode 160. I'm your co-host, Jalen Brown.
I'm your other wonderful co-host, Mahlon Dennis.
I'm your other great co-host, Nestor.
And our first half guest this week, Morgan Brown. What is up?
What's up,
One of the OGs.
Yes. Thank you for taking the time out of your evening to come hang out with your boys and talk about your other boys that are doing some shit right now.
Talking about my team, right? Yeah.
You know, Jalen, I gotta admit, it was probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago where I realized that you always say your last name in the intro. And so I started doing it the last couple of weeks, and I gotta tell you, I feel more regal and sophisticated when I say the last name versus just the first name.
Yeah, it brings you to a new level.
There you go. Level of great.
Yes, folks at home, if this is your first time listening to this show, we are an NBA and NFL podcast where we stream live every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And, we stream live on YouTube. So if you click the first link down in your podcast description, you will be taken to the YouTube version of this episode. Click subscribe, drop the video a like if you don't mind. It'll probably take you all of 2 seconds to do both of those things. And hey, add us to your subscriptions. That way, every time we go live, you'll be notified and you'll never have to remember because there we are every Wednesday night. With that being said, we're officially out of October. We're moving November 1st, 160 episodes. Small milestone, but I figured it's worth shouting out. A lot of episodes down, and we are already.
I think we've only missed like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
To 100.
right.
It's pretty consistent.
It is.
That's Hall of Fame numbers.
Right. But yeah, with that comes, we're well into the NFL season at this point. We are about halfway. And I figured this is a good time for us to give our power rankings for each of us to detail who are the top 10 teams in the NFL right now. And yes, sir.
I know that you're drinking tea, but some of us have a shot glass already.
Yes. Sorry to hold up the class.
I was about to say.
I'll go to the AA meeting later. No? Love you guys.
Oh, good burn.
Mild burn.
It's just in a different way.
This man.
Now, sorry to jump the gun there. So we're going to give our top 10 teams. We're going to start at number 10, then work our way to number 1. So
It's gonna be fun.
Yes. Just keep in mind, these are all just opinions. So no name calling, no judgment. I'm not calling on anybody in particular, but let's go with number 10.
Don't signal me out.
Let's go with number 10.
Someone says something.
Definitely singles you out.
Morgan, who is your number 10 team in the NFL right now?
This is the thing with me. I only pay attention with my team, but top 10. I hate to say this team, and I hate them with a passion. The Cowboys.
Well,
Okay.
put them way down at number 10. Guess if you had to put them somewhere, that's the best place to put them, right? We'll go Nestor next.
Top team, right? Number 1.
Number 10.
Number 10.
Number 10.
Let's see. I have the Jaguars at 13, Browns at 12, Bills at 11. Just wanted to throw that out that the Bills are not in my top 10. They're trash. Number 10, I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
Wow.
Bengals. Okay.
Bengals at number 10. Go ahead, Mahlon.
Damn. Okay, the man
Nice.
said the Bengals. They're the last team in their division right now, and he's got them in the top 10. So I'm interested to see where he's got Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland also. I'm going with the Bills, number 10. Just they're so inconsistent. They live and die off of Josh Allen's smart and crazy and dumbass decisions. So sitting at 5-3, they're number 10 on my list. They're great one week and bad the next. They're Jekyll and Hyde of the NFL.
Yes, very. At number 10, I've got the Lions. They're looking good, looking very good, but they haven't really played too many tough opponents. Out of the 3 tougher opponents they've had, which is like Seattle, Baltimore, and Kansas City, they only beat Kansas City in that opener. And they barely beat them. That was without Travis Kelce. So they haven't really been tested too much yet. So I'm putting them at number 10.
They didn't have Jones either.
Right, yeah. Chris Jones was in there too. So they're about to get tested a bit more here, though, as December rolls around, or November, rather. Anyway, number 9, Morgan, what do you have?
Number 9. I have no idea.
Would you like us to come back?
Yes, please.
Nestor, go ahead.
What are we doing?
Number 9, I have the Lions. I just want to say I think they found something good with Gibbs. They found something good out of Montgomery missing some time because now Gibbs looks more comfortable. So now you have 2 good, running backs that I would think are confident. They have a decent defense. Hutchinson, you got St. Brown. So yeah, number 9 for me.
All right, Mahlon.
Jacksonville at number 9. They're 6-2. I know the Prince, as they call him, Lawrence, is playing better, but they still, if not, I don't know why Calvin Ridley is not as involved in the offense as I think he should be.
Yeah.
Kind of weird. Etienne is a freaking star, man.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you got Trevor Lawrence and Etienne both coming from Clemson, like they are meshing well right now. He's catching the ball better out of the backfield. And not for nothing, but 2 of their 6 wins were overseas in London. That's a little weird to me. Little suspect. So I don't know. It feels weird for the Jaguars to be 6-2. So I'm not a full believer yet, and I hate Duval County. So that's another thing.
Fair. I've actually have Seattle at number 9.
Wasn't this like your Super Bowl pick?
Yeah, and the Lions were my NFC, the opponent they're going to play. Yeah, Seattle, they're finding ways to win games. I do think that Pete Carroll's done an excellent job coaching up this team and just figuring it out each and every game. But similar to the Lions, their tougher part of their schedule is coming up now, so we're really about to see how the Seahawks are going to fare. The Geno Smith slander to me is a little strange, though, because I don't think he's playing bad. I mean, he's not playing great. He's been all right. Would you say your quarterback is played solid?
I would. He's played solid. I would just like to point out that at some point you're going to have the San Francisco 49ers up there. And they've lost 3 straight, and we're ahead in the division. So that's kind of hurtful.
It is what it is. Morgan, did you pick out a number 9?
Yeah, I'm going to go Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence is doing pretty well, so he's going to be top 10. So he's definitely number 9 for me.
All right. Number 8, Nestor, go ahead.
Number 8, I'm gonna go with the Ravens.
Oh,
Yeah, Lamar Jackson's playing great, but are we really gonna fall into that same trap again that we fell into with the Lions? Uh, they have no running backs. Gus Edwards, not that they need one specifically, but eventually I feel it would do them some well. Justice Hill, Gus Edwards. I mean, come on. The wide receivers, Nelson Aguilar, Bateman. No. So number 8 for me.
go ahead, Mahlon.
I'm going the Chiefs at number 8.
Wow.
When you lose 24-9 to a team that the Miami Dolphins dropped 70 on, with little midget Wilson and Sean Payton working out some sort of assassination plot against him and his pregnant wife and his kids. You gotta wonder what the hell's going on. Like, does Taylor Swift have to be at every ball game? No, but they've lost like depth, and this happens to all teams that win the Super Bowl, man, multiple times. This is why it's so crazy to me how the Patriots were able to do what they did for as long as they did. Is that you lose your depth, and you start losing players, and so like that offense is not humming. It's Patrick Mahomes or bust. It's him and Kelsey. That's really it. And that's a far cry from what that offense was 2 to 3 years ago. You think about the defense. They don't have Frank Clark anymore. The Honey Badger's not there. That secondary is suspect to me. Yes, you got Chris Jones. Not a whole lot else going on there. But losing to the Broncos really kind of put to me that, yeah, you're 6-2. But that was the team you should have been able to put away. And if you're gonna lose, it better be a hell of a lot closer than 24-9. So yeah.
For me, excuse me, I've got Miami at number 8. I do think this is the best offense in the NFL, but they have shown that they can be had when teams are a bit more rough on them. Like Philly beat up on them a bit, and even Buffalo beat up on them a bit, and it makes me question them going into like the colder months here, and as the year progresses towards the playoffs. That's more of the style of football that's going to be played. So it's kind of the verdict is still out on them on if they're just all flash. But I'm going to put them at number 8 for now. So Morgan,
They definitely need the 1 seed, right?
yeah, they need to be in
They
Miami.
need it bad.
Go ahead, Morgan.
I think I'm going to agree with you, Jalen, with Miami. They have Jalen Ramsey now, too. He got picked last game. And their offense is pretty good as well, so I'm going to put them at number 8.
Cool. Nestor, number 7.
I fucked up. I had these two teams. I had the same team at number 7 and number 5. I don't know why I did that, but I guess I was rearranging teams. Anyway, you know what? If I can make this correction, number 7, I'll have the Ravens. Number 8, I'll have the Bills. That's fair.
It just said the Bills weren't even in his top 10, and now they're number 7.
I didn't have
8?
Bills, Browns, Jaguars. I didn't have any of those 3 teams in the top 10. So if I'm gonna pick a team from those 3, I'm gonna pick the Bills.
Go ahead of the other teams that were already in your top 10?
Go ahead, Mahlon. Go ahead.
The Lions and the Bengals.
Go
You're a hot
ahead.
mess. This man. This man been drinking that Sarasota water. Someone stop him.
Who is your number 7, Mahlon?
Okay. Number 7, I'm actually going Dallas. Really well in Dallas.
Damn.
What did he say?
Why'd you put him there?
Why'd I put him at 7? Oh, I mean, damn, Morgan. I try to be real. Okay, so everyone deserves one clunker a season, right? Where you lose to a team that you're not supposed to, right? So that is Arizona, and that's when they still had the cancer survivor Connor playing. Dobbs was not yet on his third team this year, and there wasn't a whole lot of tape out on him. So they lost that one. I get that the 49ers beat the brakes off of them, but what else is supposed to happen to Dallas? But they're still going to win a lot of games. They're still going to make the playoffs. And with the NFC, there's not a whole lot of other talented teams. Like, you should beat number 7 if I think you could probably at least get to the divisional round. So I'm going Dallas, number 7. I don't like that they didn't make any moves in free agency, though. I forget who signed Leonard Fournette. Was that Buffalo to sign Leonard Fournette? I think that he could have been a good pickup for Dallas to kind of help Pollard a little bit, because I think that they are suffering in the red zone running the ball. They don't have that Warhammer. So yeah.
Yeah, the Bills signed him to their practice squad. So
Bills signed him to the practice squad.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's crazy.
My mighty fallen.
Right. For me, I keep putting my list away. All right, so number 7, I have San Francisco. As of late, I think that their injuries have shown that Brock Purdy cannot carry a team like some of his other, top quarterbacks can. I think we all are aware now that he's a system quarterback, and he's not the guy that's gonna take you to the promised land. But if San Francisco is at 100%, they are the best team in the NFL. But that's not how football works. And it is pretty rare that once January comes around, you've got a team at 100% anyway. So I've got them at number 7 right now. So they really need
what
their
happened to
talent
you
back.
thinking my Seahawks were going to be the best team in the NFC? Like,
I
what
still
did they
do.
do to you? How did they hurt your feelings where you have them at 9 and this team at 7? I don't understand.
All that
what's happening.
matters is that they're in the Super Bowl at the end of the year. How they get there?
You're damn right. That's
Don't
all that
matter.
matters. All that matters.
Morgan, who is your number 7?
Where'd he go?
I'm putting Chiefs there.
Chiefs at 7.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes, he'll come back and do his thing, shake his tail feather or something like that.
There we go. Number 6, Nestor.
6 for me is the Chiefs. They still have that experience, and that I feel goes a long way. So 6 for me, Chiefs.
Mahlon?
All right. That's where I got to put the 49ers. Got to put it 6. Just because, like you said, when they're healthy, they're one of the better teams in the NFL. The defense is a little bit suspect to me. I know they just added Chase Young, but that was already a strength on the edge. They needed interior lineman help. They needed secondary help. But when you get the brakes beat off of you by Kirk Cousins in the Minnesota Vikings on national television, and then Niner fans talk all this shit about the Seahawks losing to the Bengals, and you go get the brakes beat off of you by them too. And you lost to the Cleveland Browns and the backup quarterback with Walker, who looks like he might actually have cancer currently right now. I think he's playing with cancer. Yeah, you lose 3 straight. It's gonna bump you down a little bit, but I think that's a fair spot to put him.
Yeah, they made Kirk Cousins look good in a primetime game. That says a lot. My number 6, I've got Cincinnati. I feel like they're kind of middle of the pack right now amongst the top 10 teams because they're just kind of doing what they always do. Like they start off slow and then they come to life around this time of year the past like 3 years. So the Bengals are just the normal Bengals. Morgan, who was your number 6?
Number 6, I'm putting the Lions, actually. They struggled last year, and now they're balling. So what? They're 5-2, correct?
Sounds about right.
No way. Okay, so
Lions are 6-2.
they're 6-2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, so they're balling. They only lost 2 games. And they're missing their star running back that went to the Eagles. So that's pretty good that they're getting off on the right track this season.
All right. Shout out to Ryan Brown in the chat. He was not feeling Mahlon's high pick of the Cowboys.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, Ryan is still probably feeling all them cases of water his ass fell on a couple of years ago at the studio. So we're still cleaning shit in the sink.
Let's move to number 5.
I love you, Ryan. I apologize.
Go ahead, Nestor.
Number 5, I actually have the Seahawks. I think the only thing I mentioned it earlier about Geno, the only thing that's I feel like is not great is Geno, but the defense is solid, man. The everything from the corners to defensive ends, everything's solid there, pretty great. So yeah, number 5 for me, Seahawks.
Go ahead, Mahlon.
Wait, can you name back? I want to make sure that I have this right. Can you name back what I've said so far?
I cannot. I'm not keeping track.
I thought you were writing all this down.
Negative.
God bless America. Okay.
And Niners last.
Right, the Niners were
I don't
last.
think I don't. Did I say Detroit yet? I don't think I said Detroit.
Yeah, Jaguars and Niners. That's the only 2 teams I remember.
I don't
I
think
thought you said Cowboys last time.
I the last time they were like number 7. Jesus. I'm gonna go. I think I got to go Detroit here. I think Detroit's been solid. They've had you're allowed a clunker, right? Their clunker was against Baltimore. That was a big clunker. That was a big shit on the bed for them. But other than that, you beat the Super Bowl champions. You lose Seahawks in overtime. I think that team resounding came back with a good win last week. So I'm gonna go ahead and have them there.
I've got Jacksonville at number 5. They're looking really, really, really good, and they've got a very complete roster. That defense is looking great. I think they're leading the NFL in takeaways right now. Josh Allen has been a huge, huge star for them. If they can just find a way, like Mahlon said, to get Calvin Ridley more involved, because, geez, right now it's just like he might as well not even be there in most games. They'll look really, really good. But Doug Peterson is doing a great job. Trevor Lawrence is doing great. Etienne, the whole squad. So Jacksonville, look out for the cardiac cats come January.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that.
Go ahead, Morgan.
Somebody in Jacksonville right now yelling Duval after what you just. That's
At 10 p.m.
probably
Everybody's
yelling.
asleep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Buffalo Bills. I think that they're gonna turn around and come back and put them back themselves in the right position.
All right.
You are an enigma, sir. You need to turn Peter on. That's what you need to do. You're not,
I mean, Washington lost to them, so
you're not getting enough blood to your head right now.
Nestor, who is your number 4?
Uh, my number 4 team, I feel, is we beat them last year. We did what we wanted against the Ravens last year. We can beat the Bills. I don't know what happened last game, but whatever. I think we're better than the Lions. Our offense is better. So number 4, Dolphins.
Fair enough. Maylin, go ahead.
I see how I put his Dolphins above my Seahawks. I did too. Don't worry. I'm going with my Seahawks right now. Only because, listen, the defense since after now. Keep in mind, week 1, we got our ass beat like 33-12 or 14 or whatever to the Rams, right? But we lost our starting left and right tackle at the beginning of the second quarter or the beginning of the third quarter. We could not move the ball. Gina was getting pounded. The Rams had great field position for the rest of the game. They ended up scoring 30 points on us. Since week 1, our defense has been ranked number 1 or number 2 in the NFL on all stats. We're getting defensive pressure. We're getting, the interceptions. Woolen and Witherspoon, they have like the best defensive QBR against quarterbacks in all the National Football League. Witherspoon is ranked number 2 by Pro Football Focus for defensive backs in all of the NFL. He's a rookie. We just got that guy out of the Giants. Goddamn, what the hell's his name? I think it's Williams. Isn't it Williams? It's Williams. I think so.
Sure.
Damn it. I can't think.
Yes, Leonard
Okay.
Williams.
We'll talk about it when we talk about Chase Young because you think the Niners are more important to talk about than the Seahawks, anyways, in the trade deadline. I saw that in the rundown. That was disrespectful. But we also
Leonard Williams.
Leonard Williams. Yes, God damn it, I knew it. He's like top 5 in the NFL in interior defensive linemen. And we're already number 1 in the NFL with QB pressure. So the defense is playing great. Walker playing great. Charbonnet is one of the top 5 highest rated running backs by Pro Football Focus, and he's our backup running back, for God's sakes. Metcalf needs to stop cheap shotting people. But Lockett's doing great. We got Smith and Jigma going. Mike Bobo, our 4th wide receiver. Non-drafted free agent at a UCLA. Everybody needs more Bobo in their life. This man is a tall white guy. Can't run fast, but he catches great people. He's got a touchdown the last 2 games. So we're doing great. So I got him there. We're number 3 in the NFC. Yeah, that's what's happening.
All right. I have got Dallas at number 4. They have shocked me. I admitted I was completely wrong.
I just far from my mouth.
I thought the Cowboys were going to be absolutely terrible before the year started, but they're very good. It's not just fool's gold. Dak has been playing pretty well. The defense is extremely good. And CeeDee Lamb, he's got to be one of the best wide receivers in the NFL right now. Like him and AJ
I can't
Brown,
believe you put the Cowboys at 4th.
they're that good.
Can't,
They are that good.
Wait. You said Cowboys
he did.
Right.
ahead of my Seahawks right now?
That's where they're at.
I hope you get diarrhea.
Aiden might know where this is going. I can't believe you put the Cowboys at 4th.
This is disrespectful.
Oh,
This is
funny. Morgan,
This is
go
why.
ahead.
This is why you don't get the show sick. You say stupid shit, and we're gonna have to hold you accountable to it. What the hell? He has the Cowboys. No, he has the Cowboys above the 40. This is why he said what he said. And when he says something stupid, we can't call him out on it. He has the Cowboys so much further ahead of the Niners, but the Niners beat the shit out of them when they were healthy. Yet he said if the Niners are healthy, they're the best team in the NFC. That don't make lick of goddamn sense.
They were not that healthy. Morgan?
I'm going to go with Mahlon on the Seahawks. They're pass rushers are goodness gracious. Their defense is on point. Also, Metcalf is also good as well, and Gino is a baller. So I'm gonna put them at number 4.
All right, Nestor, number 3.
You should be happy that I agree with the Seahawks on number 4.
I'm okay with
Um,
that.
I got the Cowboy. Can you say it? Cowboys in number 3?
Really? You can pick any other team and put the Cowboys at number 4? Are you serious?
My boy CD Lamb is gonna go off number 88, and Dak Prescott's doing better now. So yeah, Cowboys at number 3.
Better.
Good, great defense.
And that is why you guys are too funny. Mahlon, who is your number 3?
God. Oh, you guys are stressing me out. Number 3, I got Miami.
Wow.
Reason why I got Miami at number 3 is that first of all, I think Daniels is probably the best and coolest coach in the NFL. I think
So funny.
he has the potential to be, like, in my opinion, the next Belichick. As far as getting the best out of the personnel that you have with you. The Patriot way is dead and gone. Players are different now. Mike McDaniels is so different. That offense is incredible. As long as Tua stays healthy, they're going to be great. You don't put up 70 points by accident. Jalen Ramsey is back. I love the fact that Mike McDaniels actually called out Ramsey in the post-game press conference and said he was disappointed in Ramsey because Ramsey said he was going to get a pick 6 in his first game back, and all he got was a pick field goal. That's just the greatest quote you're gonna get in a press conference this year. So yeah, I gotta give Miami their shine right now. So I got to put him there.
All right. Number 3, I've got Kansas City as a third best team. Yes, they just lost to the Broncos. But, like Mahlon said, everybody's allowed a clunker. It happens. Also, apparently Patrick Mahomes had the flu. So, just throwing that out there.
He did have the flu.
Oh,
He
please.
did.
So, if there was ever a week to have a clunker, probably that week.
Hey,
They
no,
are,
against Russell Wilson, you don't get a clunker.
well, that's the point of it being a clunker. It's a game you should.
Russell Wilson is the clunker.
They're still just finding ways to win games. Like, after all of the stuff you guys said, they've only lost 2 games, and I mean, I just don't bet against that team anymore. So I think they'll keep it up, and they'll be there in the end. So number 2, go ahead, Nestor.
Number 2, I got the Niners. Apart from Brock Purdy, I still feel like they have great playmakers. They have a great defense, and I will be expecting to see them in the end somewhere. So yeah, number 2, Niners.
Mahlon, who is your number 2?
My number 2 is Baltimore Ravens. And the reason why I say is because they've been first of all, they were winning some games early they shouldn't have. But Trey Flowers is coming on is a true number 1 that Lamar Jackson's been missing for a long time. And when you beat a team like Detroit the way you beat Detroit, that, like, they're playing the best ball in the NFL the last couple weeks. Mm-hmm. So that's why I have them number 2. And gonna make it look a lot better when my Seahawks beat them on Sunday when I have them. So there we go.
There we go. I have got Philadelphia at number 2. They have really come into form these past few weeks, and the tush push is alive and well. AJ Brown, I think like I said, him and CeeDee Lamb are just like complete ballers right now. Eagles are looking phenomenal. Very, very tough out against the Eagles, and I think that they are one of those few cases where the team that went to the Super Bowl lost, usually not very good the next year, but they're picking up right where they left off. So the Eagles are my number 2. Morgan.
I'm putting the 49ers at number 2, actually.
Wow.
They got some ballers on offense. They got some ballers on defense.
You son of a bitch.
They have a run game. They have some wide receivers as well. So I'm going to stick with them at number 2.
All right, number 1.
How are you?
Go ahead,
Okay,
Esther.
number 1. I'm going to abide by the rules. I'm not going to completely lose my shit. So.
Number 1. Number 1, I have to say the Eagles. I think, like Jalen said, the tush push. When with Kelsey there, man, it's very difficult to do anything against that. Apart from everything else. And they have a good defense. I feel like they have a decent pass rush. They gave us a lot of problems when they played the Dolphins. So yeah, and Swift is a pain in the ass when it comes to fantasy. So when you don't have him on your team, so yeah, I feel like Philly's number 1 right now.
All right, go ahead, Mahlon.
I'm going Philly. The reason I'm going Philly is 2 reasons. 1, they're winning when they're not playing their best ball. Okay. They already had the clunker. I get it. The Jets. That's terrible. But when Jalen Hurts is not playing his best, but yet you're still winning. You're finding ways to win, which builds confidence and character in your team when later on down the season, when you're playing tougher games and it's a little bit tighter, you have the belief that you're going to be able to come back, you're going to be able to squeeze it out. Not everything needs to be a blowout. And, when we think about it last year, when they were winning all those games, they weren't blowing people out. They were just winning ball games. Everyone seems to think about the Eagles' offense as the Eagles' offense in the Super Bowl. Simple fact of the matter is Jalen Hurts was not putting up all of those types of numbers that he put up in the Super Bowl on a regular basis. He was just very efficient. But now you got Swift, who is balling. Love that guy. And, they don't call it the tush push anymore. They call it the brotherly shove.
Brotherly shove.
Is what they call it. And, I do think that's a very Philly thing. They would call it a brotherly shove. You got a bunch of guys with hands on asses and piling up on top of each other. So that sounds like a very Philly thing. God bless the Liberty Bell. There's a reason why there's a crack in it. But yeah. So got to go Philly, number 1.
All right, I've got Baltimore at number 1. Right now, Lamar's my MVP. He's just playing the best football he's ever played in his career. He's looking phenomenal, and their offense is just super, super fast. Defense is playing really, really well too. But Zay Flowers, Lamar Jackson, that's a great, great connection. Mark Andrews still doing his thing. If they can get OBJ the ball a bit more, that would be beneficial, of course. But the way the Ravens are playing right now, to me, they look like the best team in the league. So that's my number 1. Morgan.
Number 1 is going to be Eagles for me. They have the best offensive line. They have that Swift motherfucker. And then they got AJ Brown. They just signed Julio Jones. AJ Brown is probably the best wide receiver right now. Oh yeah, I put him over Lamb. He's a Cowboy, so I have to put him.
I wouldn't even put Lamb in the top 5. What do we?
So yeah, AJ Brown has definitely been playing his best football this year so far.
All right, folks, that's our top 10. We're going to read your top 5 in the second half for community comments. So there's that. But we're going to move right along, and we are going to move into a brand new segment. This, folks, this is Mahlon's Misery in 5. So the way this is going to work, our resident Mahlon here always has a lot on his heart that he likes to share that is typically very heated, and we're going to give Mahlon 3 minutes to air out everything that is on his sports heart this week. And we will have 2 minutes. The rest of us will have 2 minutes to respond to what he says. So,
all right. So, like everybody knows, my heart is black. My soul is black. And I'm not even just talking about color. I'm just talking about just how it feels. Everything's dark. So a lot of things make me angry. So this week, here's what's pissing me off about sports, people. First of all, the fact that Michigan is ranked in the top 4 in the college football playoff, even though they have a cheating scandal going on right now. The College Football Playoff Committee said that that's an NCAA thing that they need to figure out, that they can't really put that into their rankings. And, they also have the 111th ranked strength of schedule out of 130 teams in college football, but they're ranked number 3 in college football. Now, if you're thinking this is Spygate, people, this is not Spygate. I don't know if you guys know what's going on with Michigan. What Michigan is doing is they had staffers going to other teams and filming their signals at other games. Not only were they filming sidelines and stealing signs and signals at other games, they were also going and filming other teams that they did not want to see in the college football playoff, and then giving that information to opposing teams in hopes that that team might lose. That happened last year with Tennessee versus South Carolina. South Carolina was a dog shit team last year. Tennessee was undefeated. All of a sudden, Tennessee plays South Carolina. They lose 63-28, I think it was, after losing their starting quarterback. But starting quarterback for South Carolina would barely throw for 200 yards in a single game. All of a sudden, completed over 80% of his passes, 400 yards, 6 touchdowns. That's crazy. It's also kind of wild that the entire South Carolina defense was wearing playbook pads on their arms. The entire defense was. So that's cute. Not only that, but there was a Michigan staffer that was on the sideline for Central Michigan, on the sideline, wearing Central Michigan sideline gear, walking up, rubbing shoulders with all of the coaches, and he's a Michigan staffer. This goes so far beyond just the normal thing, and the fact that the College Football Playoff Committee thinks they're one of the best teams in college football is bullshit. My Huskies should be in there. I'm pissed off. I only got 3 seconds left, so I'm going to say I'm fucking pissed off one more time. Go ahead. Respond. I stopped at 259.59.
There you go.
I think I can do it.
You follow the rule. The Michigan thing is, I only have a problem with the fact that they're ranked that high up. Like, if other teams want to follow suit and do the same thing, I don't know. It's one of those things that kind of seems hard to govern as far as just, recording signals. Now, going to other teams and, selling them the information, that's a bit much. But recording signals just seems like one of those things that's I don't know how you stop that necessarily. But, yeah, they should not be ranked that high up with all the stuff going on, and with, like you said, the difficulty of their schedule or lack thereof. It's a joke that we would think that Michigan deserves to be this high up legitimately.
You're getting your staff on the sidelines of opposing teams.
Right.
It's insane. Not to mention, okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go over the 3-minute limit here. I got 2 more things to say. The 2 biggest losses they have in the last 3 years since 2021. Can anyone name them? Anybody? No.
No.
It's TCU and Georgia. Why is it TCU and Georgia? Because they had no idea they're going to be playing them in the college football playoffs, so they couldn't advance scout them. Okay.
True.
Not to mention their bowl record is 1-7 under Jim Harbaugh. 1-7. That's another indication. That's a team you can't advance scout. There is a lot going on to the signs and the signals that they have. Are they an uber talented team? Yes. Do they bulldoze people? Yes. Aiden Hutchinson is not blowing up Ohio State offensive linemen because they got signals. That's not happening. But there is an advantage. They are now the 2017 Houston Astros, and they should all die. I said it.
Damn.
Firing squad, actually. I want him shot.
Morgan, Nestor, any response?
Yeah, I don't think they should be ranked that high at all. Yeah, the magnitude of their cheating is because if you can kind of read those signs from or calls, but paying people to go over there and do some type of recon, that's pretty messed up. So yeah, they should see consequences. I don't know. Maybe Mahlon can help me out here because I saw on Twitter somebody said they deserve the death penalty, and that it was worse than SMU in the 80s. So what did SMU do in the 80s?
SMU in the 80s was paying recruits an exorbitant amount of money, and they were basically like an NFL franchise in college until they got caught.
Jesus.
Okay. So Eric Dickerson, who played for the Rams and played for the Colts, he played for MSU, and MSU had a ton of talent, but they were paying for all of their talent. And it was so widespread that when it came out, it was one of the biggest scandals in the 80s. And so what the death penalty is in NCAA, if you guys don't know what the death penalty is, it basically means that you lose your program.
Yeah.
And I think SMU lost their program for 2 years. And then I think for another 4 years, they couldn't even have any scholarship players. And they had a bowl ban for a while. So they got what was called the death penalty. And so what's going on with Michigan is it just seems like there is a very clinical scheme of cheating. When we talk about stealing signs, it's different than the NFL because the NFL has the helmet system,
Right.
With the microphone and stuff where you could hear. So you don't have that in college. Why they don't, I have no idea. These people are making fucking millions of dollars. So they have to have all the signs and everything on the sideline. And you could literally figure out what every sign is if you have people going to stadiums before you play them and videotaping it and getting the tip off to that. So you pretty much know what they're going to do before they do it. So that's a pretty unfair advantage.
Yeah, all this is really just evidence to show that they really need to start putting the earpiece in the helmet. Makes no sense as to why that's not the case already, but anyway. Well,
because they're cheap.
That too. Let's get into the news. Bit of
Today's
news
top
to get
stories
into
and
as far
breaking
as
news.
trades go. We're going to start off with the NBA and the big James Harden trade that just went down. So James Harden, now an LA Clipper, off to yet another team. So him, PJ Tucker, and I think somebody else. Not gonna lie, I've never seen his name before in my life. So the Clippers got the three of them in exchange for Marcus Morris, Robert Covington, Nick Batum, KJ Martin, and then they also got a bunch of draft picks in 2028 and 2029. So James Harden linking back up with his old running mate Russell Westbrook. He's got Kawhi now. He's got PG-13. Morgan, what do you think about James Harden being a Clipper?
Well, first, Josh Harris had to get him out of there somehow, so put him on the Clippers. I don't really care about James Harden anymore. You know, he has that attitude problem. And, you know, he's just one of those players that doesn't fit with any team. So they had to put him in L.A. So,
well, yeah. Nestor?
Yeah, I feel like in no way this helps the Clippers because they're just such a failed organization and team. Yeah, like Morgan said, they had to get him out of there, and this I feel like it was a pretty good way of getting him out of there. So in regards to I guess this is like a trade. This is something they're trying to do so that, like, in the near future, they can do like a bigger trade. So that's good for them because I don't feel like they were going anywhere with Harden on their team. And this year, regardless of what they do, they're not going to stop Boston and they're not going to stop the Bucks. So might as well just, you know what, get Harden out of there and start planning for the near future. So yeah.
Go ahead, Mahlon.
I think that Philly got the better end of this trade. Simply because they got draft picks. They got some good role players. Now, role players are going to take a little bit of time to get acclimated, right? But, you know, if you get Embiid with some solid role players, they can just contribute. That team, they weren't a finals contender with Harden. They're not going to be a finals contender without Harden. But they could build for the future without Harden because, you know, listen, I mean, Miami's going to be Miami. They talk about a culture that they don't have. They're terrible. You know, Boston and Milwaukee, like, we've kind of leveraged our future a little bit. And we need to, you know, we need to be able to produce. And, you know, if Philly plays it right, they could be one of those teams that kind of comes up after Milwaukee and Boston have had their shine and their run. But when you talk about the Clippers, I mean, you're talking Kawhi Leonard and that goofy ass laugh. Paul George, he looks homeless and he played for Indiana. You have Russell Westbrook. He's still trying to get triple doubles. And he still thinks he's probably the best player in the NBA right now. And now you're going to add James Harden. It's like trying to take the four of these people and make it make sense under one umbrella.
Suicide Squad.
It's like going to the store and buying like 4 different jigsaw puzzles of 5,000 pieces each. And opening them all up, dumping them all out, taking 4 random pieces and making them fit together. Like, it's just not going to work. First of all, they're all has-beens. None of them are in their prime. If any of them had the work ethic of LeBron James, they still could be in their prime.
Right.
But they're all after the fact. They were important in 2015, 2016, maybe even 2017. You know, maybe Kawhi with that laugh in Toronto. I think that was 2019. But, you know, in the last 3 years, does anybody give a shit about these 4 people? No.
Yeah.
So it's just funny. I think that Steve Ballmer, the owner of the Clippers, I think he's just worried about opening up an arena and wants more star power. And so if he puts Pudgy Harden out there with everybody else, people are gonna show up. But it's not gonna work out well. It's gonna be disrespectful.
Yeah.
I would just like to point out real quick because I just thought of this before you move on. Morgan, you're not gonna turn your heat on until the second week in November, but you're wearing $500 headphones. I just want to say, love yourself. Turn the goddamn heat on. All right, go ahead, Jalen.
Anyway, I also echo the thoughts on the Sixers. Good for them. They get a little bit of, I'm sure they all feel pretty good today. Some optimism, get rid of the headache. The Clippers, though, these pieces just don't fit at all. And yeah, it brings in another big name, sells some more tickets at this new stadium when it comes along, but they're not going to do anything. None of these players, this is like someone was playing 2K15 came along, was like, build a dream team, and then like they came up with this team, but this is now nothing to be anything interesting. It might be kind of funny to watch. That might be the case, kind of similar to the Lakers when they had Russ, but yeah, now this is just going to be pretty bad. So good luck, Clippers. Let's move to the next piece of news, though, because Josh McDaniels, he got fired, which it's about time, but Raiders finally parted ways with McDaniels after they shit the bed on Monday Night Football. Shitting the bed the whole year, really. But that was the last straw, and now McDaniels is out. Nestor, what did you think about that?
I mean, about time. It took them a while. I think the more interesting part is that I heard that Jimmy G might not be their starting QB going forward.
Oh, he's not.
Yeah,
So even that's more optimistic.
What's his
It better not be the kid that was playing when he was out, because I don't feel like he's that good. I think he's terrible, actually.
Okay, well, I mean, anyone's better than Jimmy G away from Shanahan.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's optimistic. It's a little bit optimistic for their fans.
Aiden O'Connell is their starting quarterback now.
Yikes!
Never heard that in my life.
He 65% completion percentage, 313 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions.
All right.
He's their guy. I think they're only starting him because he wears number 4, and they're really wishing that he was still Derek Carr because they should not have let him go.
Right.
I'm just saying.
I think Devontae Adams still wants to leave, but this is a good step.
Morgan, what'd you think?
I was hoping for some better news than them. Letting go Ron Rivera and Del Rio, but that didn't.
Oh, that's happening. That's gonna happen.
I hope soon.
That's gonna. Well, it'll happen at the end of the year.
No,
I do. No, I. Well, first of all, you guys. We'll talk about it later in the show, but you guys already did a fire sale. I do not think the new owner of the Washington Commanders is going to want to disrespect Ron Rivera, even though he hasn't really done anything but go to the Super Bowl with Cam Newton and beat cancer. Other than it's been pretty terrible. No, I think the thing that's really great about the Raiders is that you gotta really try as Mark Davis, right? You gotta really focus. You gotta put some teams together. You gotta get some flow charts. And you got to execute a plan to be a worse owner of an NFL franchise than your haircut. And I think that Mark Davis has figured it out because he's just fucking terrible. If you're going to hire someone like Josh McDaniels that wants to implement the Patriot way, okay, you have to give him time to do it. Now, the Patriot way, and I'm sorry, Jalen, it's a dead species, and it's never worked outside of New England, and it's not even working right now in New England. Like we don't even have the time to talk about all the coaches that have tried to done it, assistants that have left New England and it's failed. But Mark Davis had a firsthand experience of watching how bad McDaniels was in Denver. Yet he let him do the same goddamn thing that he did in Denver. He was like, "Oh, we got we got a quarterback, we got a wide receiver. No, we want to get rid of these people. We want to get rid of Waller. We want to get rid of the, Derek Carr. We want our own people, and it's not working out, right?" And so yeah, the Raiders is funny. The only thing that I wish was true about this is that there was a story online that was saying that Mark Davis loves PF Chang's, and that he had orchestrated a scenario where him and Josh McDaniels were eating PF Chang's together, and he handed him a fortune cookie. And when Josh McDaniels opened up the fortune cookie, it said, "You're fired." That was a real story that was going around the media, and I wish to God it was fucking true because it would have been awesome. It's been proven false, but I still think that is the best way to fire somebody like Josh McDaniels is with a fucking fortune cookie. Because you ain't got no fortune. You fucking suck without Tom Brady. So go be his understudy in the goddamn Fox booth somewhere whenever he decides to start doing whatever the fuck he's doing. Goddamn.
Yeah, he had to go, man. He was awful, awful, awful. And all I'm gonna say that I'm not gonna repeat what was already said, but let's just hope that this is the last coaching job he has. That he does not have a third stop somewhere because he didn't even deserve the second chance. So we should not be seeing him on a third team.
How do you have Renfro, Devontae Adams, and Josh Jacobs and your offense be that bad?
Exactly.
With a healthy Jimmy G.
Right. When offense is your thing, like that's what you're known for.
Jimmy G won 70% of his ball games when he was healthy. God damn. So.
All right, let's move on to another. There's a lot of boneheaded pieces of news here, but the Commanders traded away Montez Sweat and Chase Young. Chase Young ending up in San Francisco. Montez Sweat in Chicago. Get a second and a third round draft pick in return for those two guys. Morgan,
I want to hear this.
What is your team doing?
Go ahead, Morgan.
All right, so
doing a whole lot of fucking nothing.
Well, first, we're preparing for the future, okay? So by doing that,
I've been preparing for the future for 25 years. I'm sorry.
we got a new owner, though. We have a new owner now, so it's different. So by trading Chase Young, we got a third-round pick, and then for Montez Sweat, we got a second-round pick. So we have 1 first round, 2 second rounds, 2 third rounds, and the rest are singles. So we're just preparing for the future. Chase wasn't doing anything. He had like 5 sacks so far. He got a torn ACL. And then Montez Sweat wasn't having a good season either this year, so he had to go. I wanted to keep him per se, but because he's better than Chase Young, but give him to the Bears for a second round pick, So, and then we got Chase Young, who has been shaky. So now he's going to a Super Bowl team, which he'll probably be going to the Super Bowl. So.
Kiss my ass.
But it's all for the future. It's all for the future. That's how I'm putting it.
Go ahead, Mahlon.
I would just point out that I think it's ironic that Ron Rivera can solve the puzzle of cancer, but he can't solve the puzzle of this Washington football team and the bullshit that they do. This makes.
It was him, though. How do you know it was?
You guys are. Oh, it's him. He beat cancer. Let him say whatever the fuck he wants. So him and the GM are going to be gone, and so now you're looking at. Okay, so this is wild. They're 1 game out of the playoff hunt right now, and they're like, you know what? Howell ain't it. It's not going to happen, so we need to sell everybody. Now, I understand the San Francisco 49ers going after Chase Young a little bit. Now, you're building upon a strength instead of a weakness, but you're only having to pay like $650,000 and you're only giving up around a third round pick. What I really don't understand about somebody needs to help me make sense about Sweat trade to Chicago that's only won 2 games. They're giving up a second round pick. You're talking about moving things for like it doesn't make any sense. Like normally when you're making trades and giving up a second round pick, you're usually a player.
Right.
Washington is more of a player in the playoff picture than Chicago is. So I really don't understand why Chicago made that trade. Now, the Bears have come out and said they're confident that they're going to be able to re-sign Sweat. That's cute. Everybody that makes a fucking trade is confident that they're going to be able to re-sign somebody. But it's the Chicago Bears. Like, I don't understand teams like Cleveland, Chicago, Washington, bread and butter, blue blood franchises. All you do is fuck shit up. Like, even the Raiders. Throw them in there, too. You have dumbest ass people. This is why you don't leave shit to family. Okay? You know, the Hallises and the Davises. And, you know, now you got a new owner with Washington. I know you got a new owner in Cleveland. But they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They didn't make their money, you know, owning an NFL franchise. They don't know what the hell's going on. So Washington is selling 1 game out of the playoff picture. That means they know that they're fool's gold. I get that. Chicago, what the hell are you doing? You don't even know if you want Justin Fields or Jason Campbell. Actually, I know. They want Jason Campbell. But trading for Sweat isn't going to help you get Campbell. I would love for Sweat to get some sort of sack fumble Week 17 that seals a game that makes sure that the Bears don't get somebody like Campbell. I hope that's what happens. That's what they fucking deserve. Goddamn Bears. It's fucking ridiculous.
G Money, what's up, man?
Hey, man, yeah. Just chilling here in the land of gambling. I tell you, it treats me like a fucking cheap bitch. I'm getting a little tired of coming here and having to take my goddamn money. I can just throw it out the window at home.
Yeah, but I think the penthouse suite that you're in right now is a little bit better than home. So at least you're enjoying that.
Nah, just a tad. A
little
but
bit.
no, to answer your question about the Bears, right? So the Bears' thought process, whether it's right or wrong, is that they are going to re-sign Montel Sweat for probably 5 years, $160 million. Probably what they're looking at, 170. They've got plenty of salary cap to do it. The question, of course, is their head coach going to be there next year? And if that's what they're going to do, then my guess is Justin Fields won't be there next year because they'll draft a quarterback. And in this way, they don't have to draft defense because they need defense too. I mean, you would think that if Justin Fields was in their future to be their franchise quarterback, with their draft picks, they would be drafting defense and maybe a wide receiver in the 2nd or 3rd round. But no, they made that trade, so they didn't have to draft defense, and they could go after a quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
does it make sense to us? No.
Right.
I mean, would if any of us were the owner of the Bears, Would we do it? Probably not. I mean, but then I don't think I would have signed Eberfall as my head coach either. I mean, just not who I would have chosen to lead my team. And CJ Stroud aside, and he's an anomaly this year for an Ohio State quarterback, but they don't do well in the NFL. So I mean, there were other options I could have gone for taking a quarterback if I'd wanted to. But Mahlon's right. Some franchises are poorly run. And they're poorly run over decades. I mean, you just have to look and see them. Chicago. I mean, since they won the Super Bowl in '84, they've not been that good. They've tried. They've just failed dramatically. The Raiders are the same way. The last time they went to the Super Bowl, they got beat by Tampa, and then that was it. It was done. Some teams haven't even smelt
They
Detroit.
lost to Indianapolis in the season. That's fine. I would just like to point out that I think that a coach like Eberflus, doesn't that name sound like he needs to be playing in the CFL? I'm just gonna say
Tarkin Eberflus.
But anyways, let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and bring this one up, Jalen. We need to talk about the Vikings picking up the great Joshua Dobbs.
Okay.
Yes.
From the Arizona Cardinals, previously of the Cleveland Browns. This man's being passed around like a cheap hooker in Vegas. Well, what do you guys think about this phenomenal trade for the Vikings?
Well, the Vikes, they need somebody to replace their legendary quarterback in Kirk Cousins, him going down. And, Josh Dobbs by way of Cleveland, by way of Arizona, and now into Minnesota.
The only thing that makes it funny about Cousins getting hurt, and it's not funny that anybody gets hurt, but there was a whole special on Fox NFL Sunday where Kirk Cousins was talking about how he wanted to be a Viking for life. And then literally he goes out there and tears his Achilles. So, I mean, goddamn. He was actually playing pretty good. He was the number 2 quarterback in the NFL. He was playing pretty solid. But as far as Josh Dobbs, man, I mean, God, just how many apartments is he renting right now? This is bullshit. Can a man get out of a lease? Good God. Man's getting passed around like a hot potato. It's not going to do anything for the Vikings. Right. They're not, and it sucks because what is his name? Atkinson.
Oh yeah, the receiver. Yeah.
When Jefferson comes back, that's one of the best duos in the NFL. You can put that right up there with like Jamar Chase and Higgins as far as duos. And Kirk Cousins maybe could have done something.
Yeah.
With that squad. The defense wasn't bad, but it's a I'm not going to say a tough break. It's a tough tear for Minnesota.
Any other thoughts on the Vikings and Dobbs?
I just want to say
I just figured that was a.
The only thing I just want to say Dobbs is not bad. He's not. They're not gonna suffer like the Jets suffer with Zach Wilson, and they're not gonna suffer the way the Raiders have suffered with Jimmy G. And that's gonna be. I think they're thinking it's good enough for them at the moment, which I think it will be. And that's about it. He's not great, but he's not terrible.
Yeah, he's better than what they have right now as a for their backup. So he'll win them a couple games, he'll lose them a couple games. The end of the season, they'll be probably a game or two better than what they would have been if they just gone with whoever they have sitting on the bench. I mean, it's not going to win them the division. It's not going to get them in the playoffs, but it'll get them by.
And I want to mention, because I think we might have not went over this in the news, but we did go over it in the power rankings. Out of all these trades, one of the, like, I think top 3 was like Leonard Williams for the Seahawks, because the guy is like, I don't know, maybe Mahlon knows, number 2 or number 3 in QB pressures, like pretty solid, great trade for them. So
I was excited about it. Chase Young's going to get all the
right.
He was a big splash on the last day. So, but we definitely did feel a need in the interior. I appreciate that, Nestor. All the way from Sarasota.
But and you know, there was talk that we might have gone after Chase Young, but we liked the versatility that Leonard brought. That he can play inside, he can play outside, and now we've got him. We've got Frank Clark that we signed last week. Del Taylor, who actually was a conversation of possibly being traded until Nwosu freaking went down for the rest of the season. We've got a nice rotation deal. We really do. And Chase Young, I mean, they underperform. You're starting on his defense.
You're starting to break up there, G Money.
Well, you know, freaking being a fucking penthouse to have cheap goddamn Wi-Fi.
Yep. All right. Well, let's go ahead and head to break and see if we can fix that.
Right.
We got some things.
Yeah, we're gonna go to a break. Morgan, thank you for coming for the first half. Highly appreciate it. If you're interested in following Morgan on TikTok, his TikTok is linked down in our description below. If you're into gaming and whatever is currently out, whatever is new, Morgan's TikTok is down below. That's where you should go. So once again, thanks for coming on. We're going to go to a break, and we'll be back in about 10 minutes. And we are...
Hey. Yeah. Hey. On my way to the boat like I ain't just have on a coat when I landed. Out branded. Perched at the edge of the branches. They don't wanna talk mansions. Mine look like a campus. And I'm all about my brothers like the niggas I'm sampling. I'll leave you red shirted like the twins from Kansas. Really living my dreams I used to have in my aunt's crib.
This is the first time the Heat have made the finals since LeBron left.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, true.
What the fuck?
Nobody wants to guess.
Is it Kyle Lowry?
If Kyle Lowry's number 3.
Do I get the point?
Yeah, I'll give you the point.
I guess 2 of them. Do I not get points for that shit too? Can I just make a complaint?
How many times have these two teams played each other in the regular season?
Once.
Is incorrect.
No.
Twice.
Twice. You already guessed.
What was your guess? 3. That is incorrect.
Twice.
2.
G Money, any guesses?
I already said it.
We don't know if that's correct.
Well, I mean, it is correct.
G Money, try 5. Why this man have the most amount of points to complain about?
How is it taking that fucking long?
You missed the first question because you answered too fast. Not thinking.
He's stupid.
That's pretty
First of all, this is the last time we're ever doing trivia. I don't give a damn what happens.
Hey. Yeah. Trendsetter, band frame getter. With whatever. I buy diamonds when I'm under pressure. When I apply, shit don't ever let up. Yeah. Look, I'm in the cut, the boy in the cut. Jump in the whip with a ceiling go up, we up. All of this grinding for what? It's funny when you niggas thought it was luck.
So who is that? All right, Lance Spider Mitchell. You gotta put on the top.
Oh,
Ooh, Steph Curry. Okay.
Ooh, that feels bad.
There's Darren Fox. Thank you.
Damn. Is that gonna fall the moment he gets it out?
Oh my god. How am I supposed to even turn this now?
By the way, the person who knocks it over, your lineup doesn't even count.
Who took Zion? Listen, that's the best I can do, dude.
NBA. Jared Allen, you're coming home with me, friend.
Stack it.
Mr. IG Live himself.
Oh, the shooter.
Oh,
Jesus. That was hard in the Bulls' fault to get Zach LaVine.
Did you know AFR is also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts? Click the first link in the description below to listen to the most recent episode of the show.
If Miami can maintain their momentum and find a way to beat the Bucks in this series, you will be seeing us in the final. There's no question, ifs, ands, or buts about it, so be prepared to see us.
And the Miami Heat become the 6th in NBA history to win as an 8th seed in the first round.
Game one wants his ring, and he's gonna get it. And he's like, "Fuck him! If he's gotta play lights out, he's gonna come out there and play lights out." Butler's gonna put the whole load on his shoulders, and I say he wins game one. Great momentum. That's how you start a series.
All 3 of the previous series, they were the underdog. All 3 of those series, they won game 1. Denver's 9-0 at home in the playoffs. They take game 1. Game 3 of the NBA Finals. The Denver Nuggets win their 4th straight road game in these playoffs and regain home court advantage. Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Denver Nuggets are 1 win away from their first ever NBA title. Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Murray falling away. Rebound, Brown banks it home. Bruce Brown puts the Nuggets back up by 1. Jimmy Butler on the drive, gets inside, stops. Stolen by Caldwell Pope. And a foul. 2 clutch free throws from Contavious Caldwell Pope. It's over. At last, the long wait is over. After 47 years, the Denver Nuggets can finally call themselves NBA champions.
Yeah. Still waiting, wanting got to keep me on chill. Don't you release me, I'll kick it with my new bitch, I still. Yep, in my white tee. Yeah, call the pipe, Williams for the hype, please. Nigga, I'm white, you before you wipe me. My boxes of checks, not my Nikes. Cactus, not no iced tea. Got them bamboozled like I'm Spike Lee. You need more than Google just to find me. I just call a beta, get a high fee.
Incredible, general.
I just got the label just to sign me. Me and Chase connected like we signed me.
So James Harden to the LA Trimmers, man. This one, listen, man. LA, that team is such a mess. I think the Sixers got better with the addition by subtraction type deal. I know they got a bag of bricks in return, but I think they're better off just because the headache of him being there, Harden being there. But the Clippers, Kawhi, PG-13, James Harden, that sounds like 3 pieces that do not mix. Kawhi, always hurt, doesn't want to play anyway. Paul George, just always hurt. James Harden, after 6 months, he won't want to play anyway. So, I don't know. If we see all 3 of them on the court at the same time, it's going to be a shock to me. Kind of reminds me of like the Nets when they had Irving, Durant, and Harden. Just the West Coast version. Come on.
Justin Herbert may not be as good as advertised. So we have to take that in consideration. At some point, we have to say, is Justin Herbert a good quarterback? In the playoffs last year, you get a 27-point lead, and you blow it. He can't win his division. He can't beat the Chiefs. He can't win his division. When are we going to start talking about him as just a mediocre quarterback? He's Brad Johnson 2.0. That's exactly what he is.
The 49ers losing to the Cleveland Browns. No Deshaun Watson. I don't even know who the fuck their quarterback was. What did we learn from this game? Absolutely nothing. Everything we had already talked about. Purdy is a product of the system and the talent around him. You lose CMC, you lose Deebo Samuel, you lose Trent Williams for a while. He looked like a poor man's Baker Mayfield out there. He looked more irrelevant than the day that he was drafted as Mr. Irrelevant on Sunday. Brock Purdy is nothing without the talent around him. Do you guys agree or do you not? Let us know.
Okay, AFR, let's talk basketball. Who's going to come out of the East and who's going to come out of the West? For the East, I have the clear candidates, the Boston Celtics. I mean, with Porzingis there, he's coming in hot. I feel like they're going to have such a dynamic offense. It's going to make Jason Tatum play better. It's going to make Jaylen Brown play better. For the West, I have the Phoenix Suns. I know. They're very injury prone. But if this team could just stay healthy, we're talking about Kevin Durant, we're talking about Devin Booker, Bradley Beal. I don't feel Denver's going to repeat their success. It has to be the talented Phoenix Suns. But what do you guys think? Who's going to come out of the East? Who's going to come out of the West? Let me know in the comments.
Now that we are just about halfway through this NFL season, which is crazy, who are your top 5 teams in the NFL right now? We're talking about this on tonight's episode of the podcast, so be sure to leave your top 5 teams in the comments below, and we will be reviewing them later on tonight. We're giving our power rankings, so we want to hear yours. Top 5, leave them down in the comments below. Left turn no miss, I'm taking off soon. Case I don't do trap fly to the moon. Looking like who is he? Gonna know why he move like me. Yeah, my phone's a moving fleet. So choppers like who is security?
Remember to follow the show on TikTok and Instagram at FA Sports. Now back to your favorite show on the internet with your hosts, Jaylon, Mahlon, Nestor, and G Money.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to your favorite show on the internet. It is November 1st, folks. Year of our Lord. Year's flying by. Next thing you know, Super Bowl will be here, and I will be watch my New England Patriots hold up that trophy. So here we go. Second half.
You got that on you yet? You got that? You got that Sports Illustrated DVD?
I couldn't help myself. And let me dream, okay?
I said we got to be done a half an hour, and this man starts talking about the Patriots winning the Super Bowl. Okay, let's go ahead.
Second half shot. Go ahead.
Oh, wait, no, Ness is not even ready. Jesus Christ!
I need this one.
Needs this one. There
So
you go. Hurry up with the
Patron, G Money with the champagne. Mahlon, what have you got?
Oh, I got the Four Roses single barrel with me. So
love that,
and I'm pretty sure that oh, never mind. G Money's drinking a Clinko, right?
Champagne, my friend. You know, Vivo Co.
Yes. Clinko. Yep. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's go.
Alrighty, let's go into the community comments for this week. So the only 2 videos to address here are hearing what your top 5 NFL teams are and the thoughts on James Harden being traded to LA. I'll start off with the top 5 teams because I just have them in front of me right now. So on Instagram, Vlad Vroman 905. He just put Panthers 1 through 5. All right, Vlad.
What? Right back.
BLPJ says Miami Dolphins, Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys, Bengals, and Ravens. I don't really have any qualms with that one. I feel like that's pretty good. That's almost where mine was at anyway. Moving over to TikTok, June, shout out to Junebug. He says 5 Dolphins, 4 Cowboys, 3 Kansas City, 2 Eagles, number 1 Ravens. His list is almost identical to mine. Kobe says Eagles, Ravens, Jags, Finns, Niners. Famid says Eagles, Eagles, and Eagles. Somebody else says 49ers, Dolphins, Bills, Eagles, Cowboys. Ravens, Eagles, Dolphins, Lions, Chiefs. 49ers, Chiefs, Eagles, Ravens, Bengals. And then 49ers, Dolphins, Eagles, Ravens, and Bengals from somebody else. So it seems like most people are on the same page here. Let me move to the other video here. I'm just pulling up TikTok. All right, so James Harden going to LA. Eric says, does Harden still play? I feel like he lost it. And you're right. The 3 don't feel like they fit together. Weird Boy Mark says, people talk about Embiid, but besides the year with Jimmy, he never had a team as good as the people we compare him to. It's going to be fun to watch, but come on now. And then last but not least, Markman says, as a Clippers fan, I don't really know what to think. I was more than okay with us not trading for him, and here we are now.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Clippers fan was interesting there because not even he was feeling this move. So I've yet to hear anybody actually like the fact that Harden is a Clipper now. So there's that.
It just seems strange. It seems like 5 years too late. And you just wonder, you know that Harden's going to bring a really good game every 5 or 6 games. He's going to show up and hit for 30, get probably 15 rebounds and 7 or 8 assists, and then he's just going to disappear. And I don't see how it makes the Clippers really any better, and how ESPN with the analytics picked them now to win the West. I thought that was an insane thing.
Yeah.
I don't think they're better than the Lakers. I don't think that made them better than anybody that were.
Yeah. We were just revisiting the Harden trade because that was in the comments.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I had a kid that was crying, so I had to go figure out if they killed themselves or if they just had their feelings hurt. My apologies. It was just feelings. That's fine.
Glad to have you back. Let's move into the final.
I'm hoping to suppress their feelings if they don't matter.
Let's move in to the Ride or Die in 5. This is where you get the 5 best sports bets to make this week. If you are, especially if you're like G Money and you're out in Vegas and you're just living it up with all your bets, we're going to go ahead and put on last week's stats. Let's start off with the fact that Mahlon still 200 and 139 overall. He's plus 61. He was 3-2 last week.
200.
Yes, hit the 200 mark. I am 213 and 169. I am plus 44. Went 5-0 last week. Nestor 95 and 77. He is plus 18. He went 2-3 last week. A little down week for Nestor. G Money 117 and 102. He is plus 15. He went 4-1 last week, so that's where
Getting
all
close to taking over, Mister.
Yeah, he creeped up on you a bit there. So we'll see what happens this week.
That's what happens when you have a good week and I have a good week and you don't.
That is what
Things change quick.
Yeah, that is true.
That's that insight we need. All right, let's start off with the first game of the week. Tomorrow, the Thursday night game, Titans go to the Steelers, and the Titans are 2.5-point underdogs on the road. This game got way more interesting once Will Levis stepped in last week.
Yeah.
Up until this point, this was not looking that great of an entertaining game. But now that Levis is in, it would have been nice if Pickett could have played. But, we'll take Mitch for Bisk. Nestor, we'll start with you. Who do you like in this game?
Jesus. I'm not going to buy yet into the Will Levis hype.
You should.
Steelers are at home. Good defense. I'm going to regret this. So give me the Steelers. I want Will Levis to thrive. Really do. I read up a little bit on his story, and I've seen some memes on TikTok, so I know quite a lot. But, God, I'm hoping somehow they still lose this game, and he thrives. So give me the Steelers.
Well,
wait, did you say Pickett isn't playing?
I don't think he is, right?
Doesn't look like it.
Trubisky, right?
Yeah.
Did they clear him? Because
Yeah,
they were still looking at Trubinsky playing.
I think it's Trubisky. Yeah, I'm going Tennessee on this because I'm buying the great white hype that is Will Levis. Last time he had a quarterback like him going to the NFL, that was Trubisky, but he went to the Bears, and we all know what the fuck happened with that. But this guy, first game out the chute, ends up with 3 of the top 10 longest touchdown passes in the NFL already this season, and they all go to D-Hop. It's almost like, did Tannehill know that D-Hop was on his fucking roster? Because Will Levis did. He figured it out. So I'm going with Tennessee on this just because I think it's fun. I think they got the better wide receiver core. I think they'll have the better quarterback. I think they have the better running back. Pittsburgh might have a little bit of a better defense, but their offense is shit, and they don't only have little piggy Pickett out there. So I'm going Tennessee.
Yeah, I agree. For the same exact reasons. Will Levis to DeAndre Hopkins is like my favorite thing. It's just such a funny connection. And it, like you said, Tannehill does not know that D-Hop was there because just like that, it's like D-Hop is back. And props to Will Levis, man. He came out balling. And I really just want to see the Will Levis train continue because it's just a lot of fun. So if he comes out and balls against the Steelers.
Quarterback. Yeah, he was like the forgotten quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
In the draft. Like his girlfriend was more famous than him because she was like a social media influencer. And then for some reason when he got money she left him. So that was weird. But
G Money.
Wow, Nestor.
That's because he wasn't the first round pick. That's what left him.
Yeah. There was.
I'm also mad. I'm not picking the Titans because I couldn't get him off of waivers. So, just saying that.
You seem mad.
G Money.
Pretty mad.
I'm taking Titans. The Steelers' offense is stuck in the 70s. And their defense doesn't look as good as it once did. And didn't was it Fitzpatrick that went down, Fitzgerald, their safety, with a hamstring? And because I was watching the game at the airport,
And I saw him go down clutching the back of his leg, and then you didn't see him again.
Yeah, I think it was.
And I don't know. I think they're a better offense. I think Tennessee's a better offense than Pittsburgh. And I think they'll move the ball. And I don't think Pittsburgh will.
Good reason.
All right. Next game, we have got Sunday morning game in Germany. We've got the Dolphins and the
Great
Chiefs. Yes. The Chiefs are 2.5-point favorites. Mahlon, what do you like here?
I like Miami in this game. Not only did the Chiefs lose to Russell Wilson, which is just unforgivable at this point in his career. The Miami Dolphins went overseas as fast as humanly possible. Kansas City Chiefs, on the other hand, were throwing a Halloween party last night, where I was told that more than half the ladies that attended were dressed as Taylor Swift.
My God.
And Taylor Swift was also in attendance. So that must have been awkward for her to talk to a bunch of people that are trying to look like her. So it just kind of sounds like one team is taking the game a little bit more seriously than the other. I think Miami is I like that offense. I'm not sold on Kansas City's defense. And I think that Miami has a better offense than Kansas City, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Dolphins and the points.
I am going to switch my pick because I did not know about the fact that the Chiefs had a Halloween party and people were dressing up as Taylor Swift. So with that being said, I'm going to take the team that's taking this more seriously. Give me the Dolphins and the points. What the hell is going on with that? G-Money.
In Kansas City, you saw in the Denver game, Mahomes was under weather. There's no one that he trusts throwing the ball to when he has to. Oh, and by the way, they put Mahomes on the injured list, on the injury report. He injured his hand, apparently. It's his non-throwing hand, but he injured it, and they put him on the injury report today. Now he's going to play. Don't think that they're going to, put 95-year-old. I don't even know who their backup is. I have no clue who Kansas City's backup quarterback is, but that person won't be playing. But I just found it interesting that they listed Mahomes on the injury report today, and nobody knew anything about it. It's like, oh yeah, he injured his hand in the Denver game. It's like, okay. So everybody's thinking, well, that's why he was throwing bad. Well, I thought he was throwing bad because he still had like the flu. Maybe he's just throwing bad because if you bracket Kelsey, he's got no one else he can really throw to.
I do know that the backup quarterback is not. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Because he's the former backup quarterback based on the Allstate commercials. So it's not Chase McDaniels anymore.
Blaine Gabbert. Mr. Glabbert.
Blaine Gabbert is the backup quarterback for the Chiefs? Well, if anyone's going to make Blaine Gabbert look like an all-pro, it's going to be Andy Reid. I didn't even know Blaine Gabbert was still in the fucking league.
Right.
Good God.
Well, Nestor, what's your pick here?
I will say that something that does help the Chiefs is that I feel like when you have more experience and you're like for some reason you do better like in these international games. Like last year we had the Seahawks and Tampa, and I was just like, well, Seahawks have to win this one, and for some fucking reason Tampa won. Um, I don't know how that works out. I mean, Brady was good in these international games, but whatever. Dolphins have lost their last 3 international games, but I feel like we're not the team of 2021. We're a lot better. Our offense is rolling. We should, God, I hope we bulldoze this team. If the Broncos beat them, we should beat them. Even if they're at a good level, we should beat this team. So give me the Dolphins.
All right, we're all agreeing on that one. Next game, big game, 4:30 on Sunday. We have the Cowboys going to Philly, and the Cowboys are
Philly
3-point favorites. Mahlon is going to right off the bat take Philly. I am going to take the Cowboys and the points. I think it's going to be a close game either way. Yeah, it's going to be Cowboys and the points. G-Money?
I'm going with Philly minus the points. I just tend to think that whenever the Cowboys play a top 10 team, they don't play well. You give Dak pressure, and he turns into Daffy Duck. I mean, the man can't handle pressure. Tony Pollard can't run. And really, I mean, except for CeeDee Lamb, but I just don't see it. I know they're going to come out all hyped up. I mean, they're playing in Philly. They want to win. They want to show something. You know what they're going to show us? Another fucking loss. And Cowboy fans will blame the grass. They'll blame the refs. They'll blame the weather when it's really your team just isn't that good.
Nestor.
I am inclined to choose the Philly because just like G Money said, it feels like every year, well, recently, every time I feel like Cowboys are going to beat this good team, they just flop completely. Dak Prescott throws some interceptions. The team just fucking just flops. And Philly's that team where you could see them flopping against, especially when they're playing in Philly. But I feel like they have some momentum. They completely dismantled the Rams. They played so good, and I feel like this is the one game where they're gonna come through. So big game from CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. Give me the Cowboys.
He doesn't even believe what he just said. All right.
No.
Next game, Sunday night game. We have the Bengals at the Bills. There's a bunch of big games this week. G Money, who do you like here? 2.5-point favorites are the Bills, by the way.
I like the Bengals. I like the Bengals. Give me the Bengals. They're ascending. Joe Burrow is now playing like he was last year. And I don't know what I got with the Bills anymore. Their defense isn't as good as it was last year. They're not getting the pressure like they were. And offensively, it's like the Diggs show. That's it. I mean, if you look, Diggs has had more targets than basically all their other receivers put together. I mean, I know that there was talk, prior to the trade deadline that maybe the Bills should go out and get a receiver. I'm like, why? Why? They're not going to throw it to him. They're going to throw it to Diggs.
Nestor?
You know, somehow it feels like Diggs is not getting the targets. But when you look at the stats, he is getting the targets. It's just not showing up. And I know that for a fact because I have him in my fantasy team. But if anybody knows his production is me. Like, he's getting the targets, but he's not producing much with them. Gabe Davis seems to, whenever he receives the ball, be getting to the red zone area or getting a touchdown. That new kid, Shakir, or whatever his name is, he's getting some targets too. Kincaid, that tight end. That kid looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, pretty good. I feel like this is one of those games because I'm a little pissed off they didn't cover against Tampa, and they seem like such a fucking not passionate team. Like, just like, you know what? Let's just play it safe. I can't stand them, but for that reason, I don't want to be emotional. Just pick the Bengals. I'm gonna go for the Bills on this one. Yeah, give me the Bills. Jamar Chase will go off, but the Bills are gonna somehow pull it off.
I am just going to real quick. Give me the Bengals and the 2.5 points. They returned to the scene of the crime last year during the playoffs when they just embarrassed the Bills. I think they know how to beat this team, so give me the Bengals and the points. Man?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bengals. Josh Allen, inconsistent. Diggs, it seems like, even though he has a ton of targets, not doing much. The Bills' defense, they're basically the representation of Damar Hamlin last year on the field, just dead. So they're terrible. So yeah, you got to go with the Bengals right now. That offense is waking up. They're looking great. Let's go. Uday.
All right, last game. We got the Monday night game. Chargers and the Jets. Jets 3-point favorites at home. G Money. What do you like here?
Give me the Jets -3. Jets have a solid top 8 defense. And offensively, Wilson's playing better. I mean, he's not great by any stretch of the imagination, but he's playing better. And they've got a good running attack. And I'm just not sold on the Chargers. I mean, I'm not sold on the head coach. I don't know if they can call a good enough game to beat that defense.
Nestor?
I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I feel like they have a great offense. I will disagree with Junebug that Justin Herbert is the real deal. He has an arm on him. He will make things happen in this game. And yeah, Zach Wilson is playing better by his standards. They do have a great defense, and they do have a great running game. But as boneheaded as their Chargers head coach is, I feel like Justin Herbert will get them across the finish line in this one. So, Chargers.
Yeah, I'm gonna ditto. I'm gonna take the Chargers as well. I don't trust the Jets at all. So, Mahlon.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta go with the Jets. They're finding ways to win games right now. I think Joe Staley has the brain activity of Damar Hamlin when he was laying on the field last year. It's just pretty much gone. He's not a good coach. Justin Herbert is going to score some points, but I think Brees Hall playing better. Dalvin Cook might as well be Hamlin. But I think that Wilson is going to play
That's
good
three.
enough. Man. That Jets defense is still good. Listen, man, I'm going to ride this Hamlin train for as long as I can. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and go with the Jets.
All right. Yeah, I think that will do it. That puts. I think the only game
We got some islands.
Yeah, there's an island. There's only two islands. There's the Dallas Island that I'm on, and the Buffalo Island that Mahlon is on.
No, I went with you on the Dallas one.
Oh, you were. My bad. Sorry, the other island was tomorrow night's game. You are on the Pittsburgh Island.
Imagine that.
Wait.
And
didn't I pick Cincy?
you and everybody else except
yeah,
me.
sure. I thought you picked Cincy, but
Cincy.
So we're all on.
I'm on the.
What happened to Jalen? Did we lose him?
You can still hear me, right?
yeah, we did. He's like, oh, no, don't think so.
I don't know what happened with the camera, but I'm still here.
Oh, I definitely picked Cincy, didn't I?
I just put you down for Cincy. You're good.
Yeah, you did.
I'm on the Steelers Island and the Buffalo Island. I'm on some pretty cold islands.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, those are bad islands.
Yeah,
might be a bad weekend for me. Pretty rough weekend. Whatever.
All right. Well, that will do it for this week's show, folks. Thank you all for watching, listening. G Money, thank you again for joining us in the second half. Enjoy the rest of your trip. We'll talk to you all.
Hopefully, it's a winning trip. I end up on a winning note.
Right. Yeah, and shout out to Morgan for joining us on the first half. So we'll talk to you all next week, and peace.